Here's a preview of what you'll hear on this episode of Beyond the Wheel.
But it's a sprayed roofing system that gets rid of all your seams and takes away the worries of like tears, cracks from temperature changes, like fiberglass with time deteriorates. So it's a sprayed monolithic system that takes a lot of the worry out of having an RV.
Now enjoy the show.
You are listening to Beyond the Wheel, a podcast about the people and ideas that drive the RV community forward.
Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com.
After several years of interviewing RV-related companies on this podcast, I have learned that there are many family-based businesses in the industry. This theme goes along with the general sense of family in all aspects of RVing. Today's guest is no exception. We are talking with Jennifer from FlexArmor and RVRoofs.com. As you will hear, this business was started by Jennifer and her husband David. Over the years, they have grown this business to the point where there are 33 applicators across the country where you can get the FlexArmor roof applied to your RV. If you want no maintenance and no worries protection for your roof, listen to this episode to learn about this product.
Hey Jennifer, thanks for joining us today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at FlexArmor?
Well, my name's Jennifer Adair, and this actually is owned by my husband and I. We started this a while ago. Between the two of us, we're just typical, probably self-employed business owners that started out trying to have a good business, and it kind of morphed into a nationwide network of applicators. But I'm president of FlexArmor and vice president RV Roof, where we do the physical roofs at our corporate location. That's about it. David and I just kind of stumbled across this.
And I think I've heard of FlexArmor for a little while. What year did you start?
2005 is when we first were our eyes were open to this need. David comes from a background in industrial coatings, and he had a customer show up at a shop. He was doing other stuff and saw one of the samples of some other materials he was spraying and asked if he could do an RV roof. And that's where it kind of started. It took a couple years of hard work and experimenting, testing, and going to shows, but that was when we started kind of getting it going.
What's the best way to describe FlexArmor to someone who doesn't know much about RV roofs and what FlexArmor does to them?
FlexArmor it's in the plastics family. That's always one of the main questions we get is what is it made out of? And it's a pure polyurea. When it's pure, it can deal with all the different temperature changes and stuff that a RV would normally or can experience. But it's a sprayed roofing system that gets rid of all your seams and takes away the worries of like tears, cracks from temperature changes, like fiberglass with time deteriorates. So it's a sprayed monolithic system that takes a lot of the worry out of having an RV. Expense that can come from roof deterioration.
Does it go on top of an existing roof, or does the old roof come off and this go on?
It all depends. If you have, say, fiberglass roofs, like something like a Winnebago, the underneath structure is really kind of exposed. It's like wood panels with metal trusses. So if there's no water damage, we want to leave that fiberglass there to just provide a pretty surface. Same thing with rubber roofs, which is our most common roof that you see. If there's no wood damage or water damage, we leave the membrane because it tears your wood up to take it off. So it's all part of the prep process on what way will look the best, be the strongest, and give you a good roof when you leave.
Okay. And the name Flex in the armor, does that describe the material after it is cured and is on there? Does it actually flex at all?
Yes.
Is there a property to it? It does.
Yes,
Okay.
it stays extremely flexible. You can actually tie, like if we cut it in a long strip, you can tie it in a knot. So it gives you the flexibility. We all know that I don't care what anybody says with RVs. I don't care if it's a coach or what, they flex. You know, sometimes our slides go in and out sometimes depending, on how it's set up, easier or harder. So with all your expansion, contraction, any flex, the material has plenty of flex for that, but it's tough enough that like you go under a tree branch or something, it's not going to puncture that. It's not going to tear like your normal roof systems.
Could you kind of walk us through like how it's applied? You said, depending on the type of roof, if somebody had, say, a Winnebago and it was a fiberglass roof and structurally everything was okay, would you literally just clean what's there? Is there anything that needs to be removed, like prep wise? And then you just literally spray this like a paint on, I guess?
Well, it's not, it's, yeah, what we do with any, first of all, any roof, no matter what kind it is, we're stripping all your caulking, a Turnabond tape, any rolled on coatings you might have put on it, anything like that. And we're got to clean those surfaces. And it's a combination of mechanical cleaning, just grinding, sanding. And then also we have some chemical cleaning processes before we get it ready. And then we have some proprietary primer that we put on, and then we would spray the roof. It's not a paint, it's an A and B chemical that mixes as we apply it coming out of the gun. So we can do that thick, high build. It's dry in 6 seconds, dry to the touch.
What's the thickness of the material?
Average is 3/16 of an inch thick is what we shoot for on the roofs. You're going to be thicker around your components and your edges than the wide open, but that's about the average.
And then you said you strip off all the caulking and any Eternabond or anything like that. Does this material take the place of caulking, or
Yeah.
would you still need to put
Nope,
that on
you
top?
do not have to caulk. Our process that we developed provides a chemical bond to all your like vents and different things on the roof where you would normally have the screws exposed. And so it comes up and it chemically bonds to those surfaces so you don't have to recaulk it anymore.
What kind of prep work? So if I was going to get my roof done, let's say I have a rubber roof, fifth wheel, but I have like solar panels and of course the ACs are up there and things like that. What prep work do I need to do before bringing it to you to get the Flex Armor put on?
There's nothing that you need to do because really everything we do, it's just what needs to be done when it's in there. You don't want to be stripping any caulking off or something like that, before you bring it to us. The one thing we do tell people, if you know you're going to get solar panels or you're going to add something like that, to do it before you come to us so that we can do it all at once. If you decide to add something later, you're going to have to come back to one of the shops to get that area re-prepped and resprayed to keep your warranty. And that's going to cost you more money. So it's better to get your roof laid out the way you want it before you get the initial roof put on.
I was just thinking about what you were saying earlier about when you lay this down, you don't need to caulk it. I would imagine this is a very clean looking finish then when it's all done.
Yeah, one of the very first things we put down is actually tape with a wire in it. That's, so like where our roof edges are going to be around the different components, how we want them covered. That first piece of tape is a wire. So after we get done spraying the roof, we jump up there and we pull the wires, and that cuts the roof material.
What about for somebody like I have a ton of solar panels up on my roof?
Mm-hmm.
Would like things like that, solar panels need to be removed?
Yeah, no, we want you to bring them, and this is why. We're going to do one of two things. We have a proprietary fastening system that sometimes we put into the roof and spray in and then set your panels on top. Or if you have brackets that we're able to spray in, depending on if they're like aluminum versus stainless steel, height, clearance, we are going to spray in whatever is holding your solar panels down. So we need them on site with us so that we can make sure that they fit back on the brackets right before we spray it in and all that. So you bring the roof to us how you want it. We can later add or change things, but I said then that's an additional cost. So we always encourage you to come when you're ready.
Oh, that's great. Because I'm sure that's got to be popular. You must be seeing a lot of RVs with solar on the roof now.
It depends on where you at. It's more common with RVers who are out west. In Florida, we don't see as much. The shops up north, you don't see as much. You might see one or two. But the people who the RVers spend a lot of time out west boondocking, that's where you see a lot of the solar panels. And for some crazy reason, DRV owners seem to love to have as many solar panels as they can on their roof. They seem to be the number one brand for maxing it out.
Wow. At what point should someone consider having flex armor done to their RV? Like, can it be used as preventive maintenance, or do most people get it done after they see a problem or right away when it's brand new, that type of
We
thing?
see a combination. Most of the time, if we're getting a brand new one, it's either somebody that's had a nightmare of a roof experience in the past with prior ones, or they're getting ready to become full timers. This is like they know this is the unit that they're buying and going to be in for the next 10 to 20 years or however long they can do it. So they'll come in with newer ones. And then when it gets into older ones, people do it as a preventative nature just because they know the membranes, just had it, or the fiberglass that starts to lose its gel coat, it cracks and leaks. So we kind of get a big spectrum, but on the newer ones, most of the time it's full timers buying their last unit.
Is there a age where you say we won't do it on an RV after a certain point?
The only time we will ever tell you no is there's a lot of vacuum bonded roofs out there, so there are no trusses and no structure to the roof. And if you've had a severe leak and that luan and that glue has let loose and the ceiling is sagging, that needs to be fixed and shored up and rebuilt before we can put a roof on it, because then we're just making a swimming pool and it would hold water and get worse. So that's the only time we don't do them. You have to fix the actual panels first.
Okay, but it sounds like this system works for most people then.
Yes. And those are the real, like I said, those are only on vacuum bonded roofs. You can't repair. It's because it's Luan, styrofoam, and Luan. And so when it sags, there's no way to bring it up. It's not like a Newmar that has all new plywood and you just tear all the wood off and lay new wood on the trusses. So those are the only ones we got to get the roof structure fixed first. And some of our shops do that and some of us don't, because that's a heck of a job. That's rerunning wires. That's a doozy.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about the shops and how that works? Is the company, like, I know you're national, so are they franchised through you?
What they are is authorized applicators, and some of them are standalone roof shops, and some are part of RV, repair facilities or service centers. So we train them. We monitor ongoing training. We have a director of operations that he goes around the country and checks on shops, makes sure they're maintaining quality, goes to them when they want extra training, new personnel, that kind of thing. And then as part of that, we provide a support network for them all the time, generating leads, helping with advertising, and all of us are part of the warranty network. So if you got your roof done in Florida and you're camping out in Montana, you can go to that shop if you had something you're worried about, or, you had a need.
That's great. So even though they're kind of independent, but you guys are still working all together and honoring that warranty from location to location. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, we all back each other up. When we all go to shows, like here at Tampa, it'll be Elite RV manning the booth, but they'll be handing out samples with the website address. We're promoting the product, and we encourage, all of us are all at the same standard.
Gotcha. And what is that warranty?
It's a lifetime no leak guarantee that follows the camper if you trade it or sell it.
Oh, even if you
wow.
that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah, we have a warranty registration button on our website. If you ever sold it or traded it, they can go update the contact information, and they could go to any shop, whatever new owner. There's no required upkeep to keeping the roof, like a rubber roof where they say you got to condition it or you have to recaulk it every 90 days or a year or whatever they want to say. We don't have that kind of upkeep, so we let the warranty follow the camper.
Wow. So truly, this is, I would, the way that you're describing it now to me and the way I'm understanding it is, this really is a great system as a preventative maintenance, because it's low maintenance or maybe almost no maintenance, and with a lifetime warranty on it, like you're kind of giving yourself that peace of mind that you're not going to have roof leaks for the life of your RV.
Yeah, that's our goal. We tell our customers all the time, we don't ever want to see you again unless you bought another camper. We really want to do a good job the first time. We hold the shops up to that standard. We really try hard at making sure that we have like-minded people. We've been really lucky as we've grown this company. We have never gone out and actively looked for people. They've all come to us. So they're all believers. Most of our shops are previous customers. We try to keep that quality. That way we don't get a bad reputation. You don't constantly have problems. When you leave one of our shops, you should not have any leak issues.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Before we had you on and before we started speaking with you, I always thought of this as more, oh, I have an issue. Now I'm going to call Flex Armor to have it fixed. Now after speaking with you, I think it's probably a better way the other way around. Get this Flex Armor done before you have an issue.
Yeah, and that's about a 50% of the customers are that way. That's why they do it. We just had a gentleman that just left our shop in Keystone last week. He had a travel trailer done. He's been fighting a leak since he bought it. He put the roof on it because he wants to sell it, and he knew he couldn't sell it with a leak issue.
And so how long does the process take in terms of a customer brings their RV to one of the shops? How long are they out of the RV, especially like full timers? How long would they expect to be out of their RV while the work is actually getting done?
Typically, unless you got some major wood rot, normally we can do a roof in 2.5 days, so you're out of it for 2 nights.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Nope. That's really good.
We don't want anybody sitting around on the lot. We try to do, a lot of the shops do appointment based only. Some of us do a combination of, oh, you're not going to camp for 3 months, so yeah, you can bring it here and we'll kind of work you in. But yeah, 2.5 days is usually the standard.
Leading up to having the Flex Armor done, are customers sending you photos? Is it just information that they provide you through email? Like if they were to travel to you to have the work done, what would they need to have on hand when they contact you?
Just usually the length of your camper or the length of the roof if you know it, and we can give you a rough estimate over the phone. We're pretty straightforward on our pricing. All the shops have a linear foot price and usually a flat per wood piece, price. We encourage, I can't control, but we encourage all locations to just be upfront and not upcharge on different odds and ends when you get there. And it is a pretty straightforward process. So most shops run from 190 to 240 a foot across the country. Everybody's got different rates, and that's pretty standard though, is about 195 to 240. Out west is higher than down south.
Okay, but it's straightforward and it sounds reasonable for what you're getting.
Yeah, usually we tend to run a lot less expensive than, let's say, especially get a Winnebago fiberglass roof. You went to get that fixed, they're known for blowing off. We're looking at like $20,000. We can put a whole new roof on for, $8,000 or $9,000 tops. So we tend to get a lot of work because we save a lot of older units where the insurance company's not willing to pay $20,000, but they'll pay $9,000.
Oh.
That was going to be one of my questions was, do you work with insurance companies on, if somebody has a leak and they don't want to just go and put another rubber roof on, or like you said, a fiberglass roof, they could work with the insurance company to get the Flex Armor roof put on?
Yeah. Every once in a blue moon, you'll run into an insurance company or an adjuster that wants to think of it as an upgrade. But that's getting, the more we've been in business and the longer we've been educating people, that's getting to be a lot less of an instance. But most of the time, insurance companies, it's not a problem.
And how many, I don't think that you use the term shops, but how many applicators do you have across the country right now?
I think right now we're at my husband's looking at 33.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
33 up and running right now.
Okay. So I have a follow-up question to that because you said 2005 to now. I mean, that's a considerable amount of time, but you guys have really grown in these years, and you have a great reputation. What do you think contributed to that? Like, what What do you think was the secret sauce for you guys to grow the company like it did? Did the company grow faster than you thought? Did you expect it to be a company this size?
I think that depends on if you ask me or you ask my husband. He thinks it didn't grow fast enough. I am a firm believer in slow and steady because we had to redo the first 12 roofs we ever did. We have learned that you don't trust salespeople, and when you're starting out with something new, you have to test everything. So to me, we've grown well because by the time we started really adding shops at a quick rate, we have all the bugs worked out. If we had exploded that first couple years, we would have gone bankrupt, and everybody who tried, it wouldn't have worked. There was things we hadn't perfected yet, and didn't know it. It looks great when it went out the door. 2 weeks later, you're like, uh-oh. To me, it's done it at a good rate. It's really catching on now. It's taken us a lot of years. I don't think we never expected it to be what it is, though. That wasn't ever something we thought about.
Are those 33 locations, do they have the country pretty well covered, or are there areas of the country where you still want applicators to join on?
Oh, we've still got areas we like to cover, like the whole Virginia Beach, maybe North Carolina towards the coast, Michigan, definitely California, Nevada. There's some definitely holes out west. California is tricky because they have so many rules. I don't know how anybody starts a business out there. We're always talking. We've got some people who are looking into the legal aspects of doing it in California. But there's always room. We've found that if we keep the shops at about 90 miles apart, they stay busy. And so far, that's been working well. So there's plenty of room.
So you probably expect to even expand a little bit more than you have already.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, we every year we always are adding. It could be a year we add 2 or 3. I think last year we did 13 in one year. And then you also have people like I know one location he's got to the point where he's looking to retire. So you'll probably be, he might decide to shut down or sell to somebody else. You might, so it's like any other business, you're always constantly changing. But yeah, we definitely want more.
If someone is interested in getting a roof, what is the best way for them to find the nearest applicator and schedule an appointment?
They go to rvroof.com and all the applicators are listed there, and you can either call them, or if you prefer email, it sends an email quote request directly to that location, and then you'll get, like I said, we do have some variation in price. As a corporation, we just set the minimum. So going and picking the shop that you think would be convenient to you, you'll get their pricing, their scheduling availability directly.
And then after, we kind of touched on it for a minute, but I just want to go back in. After the process is done and everything's finished and the person picks up their RV and they're using it, as far as maintenance go, is it just keeping the roof clean? There's no other maintenance involved?
Yeah, and we don't even make you keep it clean. That's totally up to you. We never wash ours. Which we don't sit under trees either. But yeah, there's nothing that you have to do like resealing or conditioning or anything like that. The only requirements to keep your warranty in effect is if you ever added something or drilled a hole in it for any reason, you need to get that particular spot resprayed to keep it seamless and to keep it your warranty in effect. And like anything else, I see companies who go, oh, never ever go get on your roof again. Well, you can do something 100 times, and 101 times something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So, still keep an eye on things. That way, if you have a concern or if something did just for some, unknown reason not quite work right, you can get it in and we can get it fixed. But that's very rare. So, but we still, I like to tell people, keep an eye on it.
And you just said something pretty interesting. You said, if you were to drill a hole, you can bring it back and just have that spot done. So you could do just sections then, like or like a touch up.
Right. When you have our roof system, you never have to replace the whole roof again. If you manage, we just had a gentleman leave our shop today. He had to have his front end cap. His frame was cracked and it was a DRV. They had to replace the front end cap. He brought it back and we were able to respray just that 6 inches across the front to seal back in the end cap to the roof line. $200. He's out.
Great.
He didn't have to get a whole new roof or anything.
Would that be the same for like if you had to replace an AC unit or something like that? You would have to get since you're not caulking anymore, you would just get around the AC unit sprayed again?
ACs, they actually totally come off the roof when we spray it, and we spray inside the opening because they sit on top of your roof with the compression gasket. So, in those situations, you wouldn't have to come back. We try to make it where you don't have to come back, for little stuff. Vents you can pretty much take apart inside and leave the frame. So very rarely does anybody ever come back for that. We try to do as many things. We're redesigning some skylights so that if you ever broke a skylight, you don't have to come back because we currently seal them in. That we'll be releasing that in the next month or two. We're working on some prototypes. But yeah, you can always get it fixed if you damage something.
Well, I think that's all of our questions, Jennifer. Is there anything we might have missed or that you want to add?
I don't think so. I think, like I said, y'all had a pretty good list of questions. I think that's pretty much the main common things most people ask.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely add a link to rvroof.com for people to explore your website and look at all the different places they can get an application done if they want to. And we really thank you for taking the time today to chat with us.
No, thank y'all for following back up and getting us on your podcast. We look forward to it.
This episode is a great example of why I enjoy doing these podcasts. I thought I had a pretty good understanding of the Flex Armor company, but in reality, I did not. We are thankful for Jennifer's time in explaining the details of the company and how Flex Armor works to protect your roof. It was great to hear that they can do roof repairs as well and provide you with that lifetime leak-free guarantee. If you would like to find out more about Flex Armor, check them out at rvroof.com or give them a call at 904-830-5445 to get an estimate. We hope you enjoyed the episode, but before you go, we have a favor to ask. We would love if you could take the time to leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast platform. Safe travels, all. Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour. And backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com. With the complexity of all the systems in an RV, I always say it's not if something's going to break, but a matter of when is something going to break. That is why I think an extended warranty for RVs is so important. We first interviewed Wholesale Warranties back in 2019 and immediately became impressed with how their policies worked, such as you can take your RV to any licensed repair shop, including mobile repairs. They also have personalized service plans, making sure you are getting the right policy for your needs. And if you think your RV is too old for a policy, you might be surprised to hear that RVs up to 20 years old can still be approved for a policy. That is more age lenient than most RV parks I've stayed at. Go to wholesalewarranties.com/beyond the wheel or click the link down below in our show notes to get your free quote today.